Hi, I'm Sierra Thomas, and I will be speaking on the town hall meeting for my American government assignment and going over my questions, even though a lot of them were not answered. My first question was if there were any spots available in the Supreme Court and you had a chance to put somebody in that position, who would you put and why? So they did answer this question. I don't remember exactly what they said or the name of the lady that he was talking about that might be that or is a candidate for the Supreme Court, and but I do remember him answering that. I just don't remember exactly what he said. My next question was, how will your tax proposal affect me and my family as middle-class civilians? And Joe Biden plans on making you pay taxes based off of how much money you make, like your income, which I think is fair, because if you make less, you shouldn't have to pay as much as pay taxes as much as somebody who makes 3 times the amount that you make, because some people might not even have money to sustain life for them and their family if they keep having to overpay taxes according to what they make. Another question I had was, what was your position on term limits? And if you're in favor of them, how will you get them enacted? This question, I don't believe, was answered directly. So, yeah. My next question was, as president, will you what sacrifices will you ask every American make to help and restore the American dream and get out of that economic mess now? I think because of COVID, our economy was really, really bad this year. Like, it was really, really bad. There were millions of people out of jobs, still are. And he said he would mandate masks. If, the vaccine is approved, he would mandate vaccines as well, just to get on top of and ahead of the virus so that we can start to go back to our normal lives and then begin to rebuild the economy from there. Because as we know, the longer that we don't wear masks, the longer COVID is going to be here, and the longer people are going to be out of work, and the longer we're going to have to shut down. So he would ask every American to wear masks, get the vaccine if they can, and that would help the economy and help everybody else with their jobs. My next question was, how can we create high-paying jobs with the education system we have now? How would you chance it? This was not answered directly. He never really talked about education system reform or even looking into equal education opportunities, because even still now in 2020, education opportunities are not the same for everybody. And that's why it's hard to get high-paying jobs, because the education system is not equal. My next 2 questions kind of go together. How do you feel you can respond to racial injustice and hate crimes committed by police officers? And how do you plan to reform the justice system to ensure liberty and justice for all? One of the guys did stand up and ask this question, and he began to answer it, but he started to run out of time. He told the guy he could talk to him after about it. But he did talk about going into minority communities and basically trying to help the best way he could. I don't remember word for word everything that he was talking about, but I do remember him trying to say something about reform in minority communities. Not sure if he was saying directly what kind of reform he was speaking on, whether it was like with the police stations or if it was like, because he says he doesn't stand against, he stands, he wants justice for minority communities, basically, because, you've been seeing everything that's been going on with the protests and everything. My next question was, what are some things that you don't know about and you're willing to learn? Nobody really asked this question, so it didn't really get answered. So that question really didn't get answered. My next question was, what are some ways that you ensure equal learning and job opportunities in minority communities, which kind of went with my past 2 questions. he kind of spoke very broadly on this situation. He didn't really go into depth. And I don't know if that was because of time constraints or what exactly. And how will you bring justice to families who have lost members to hate crimes and racial injustice by police officers? This also wasn't answered directly. Like I said, whenever he spoke about Black communities or minority communities in general, he never really spoke directly about those communities. He kind of just brushed over the surface and said, what he would do. But of course, we won't know unless he gets elected. So my overall thoughts on the town hall meeting were that questions were better answered than in the first debate. I think that's due to them not being in the same room. They were actually able to speak. So I think that was good, not having each other there to distract each other or to send low blows or low shots. But overall, I think he did pretty good with answering people's questions with the time constraints that he did have. And he was willing to have further conversation with those people about their specific questions after, when he would have more time to go into more depth about it.